Hello, welcome back, FOS family. We're back for game two between
Oh
POG
boy.
and Team OOD, and already we have a substitution with Django coming in and taking over for Bob Jones.
Yeah, Bob Jones honestly didn't play badly that game in any capacity. But the Scion just cannot do anything to the Lulu up there. So I guess they're just trying to make sure that they can't do the same thing. Where just they pick Lulu, they like free laning phase, and they just let their AD carry scale into the sun.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like they want a little bit more carry threat to have that different versatility that Django brings. Is one of Team OOD's big flavors that have made them so effective throughout the season. So they are our second seed team. They are behind the game, so they want to come out with something different. And I'm excited to see what Django is going to pull out and what he has in his bag of tricks.
We've seen Django playing stuff like Lee Sin to a very effective extent. So maybe we'll see something like that. But maybe we might see the Lulu first pick yet again. Who knows? The Volibear being taken away, so they don't want Soximus to be taking be put back on Volibear duty. They're gonna take away Guncy's Rumble yet again. I mean, just not letting.
I'll wait for a confirmation from the staff, but I believe due to some form of delay, both teams have lost a ban.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, but at least from what we're seeing right now.
So substitutions.
Okay, so one ban was taken away for substitution, and another ban was maybe missed. So at the moment, this is what we have, and the Rumble and the Nocturne are taken away, and that was the same ban that Team Udyr went with in the first game.
And interestingly enough, POG is gonna take away the Lulu and pick the Karma. Now, one of the things that we saw from POG the last game is that they took the Lulu and then they banned away Karma and Seraphine. So I guess they think that the enchanters, the side lane enchanters, like the solo lane enchanters, are incredibly strong here. And they're picking around that. But that means that they give away the Tristana to Photograph. But Bob Roski on Rek'Sai. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, he's going to take his Rek'Sai, and the Kassadin is going to be picked blind, so really throwing down the gauntlet to Big Twig to see what he has in store, and it looks like he's going to go for his patented Vladimirs. Everyone's going for more of their comfort picks this time around, as it may not actually be Vladimir. It's either Vladimir or the Akali, and it's going to be the Vladimir, so an AP matchup in the mid lane for two extremely heavy late game scalers, really big level 16 threat, and that both Big Twig and Gunsy have thrown down the gauntlet for what they're going to be selecting already in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Big Twig, solid player, and I'm sure that Vladimir is something that they're relatively comfortable on. Vladimir into Kassadin, though, I don't know about that one. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely even when it comes to level 16 threat. At least Kassadin does have more extended damage. Vladimir can't side lane against him very well. The sustain is not going to be enough to survive a level 16 Kassadin, but the team fight pressure can still be very good onto Vladimir's side. He does massive AoE damage, so I'm not surprised this is the selection that they've chosen. And with Blitzcrank being locked in and the Jackson Camille being taken away, it looks like they're trying to force Django onto his Lee Sin to at least still be in a comfort matchup, as we have Azir being hovered. Be interesting to see where that's going if that's the selection.
Okay. I doubt that we're going to be seeing the cog here. Yeah, so
no, but
Samira
we will be seeing this Samira. Yeah.
Okay. So Samira Alistar.
Up really strong bot lane for POG, has a lot of engaged threat. Basically, you can't jump out of the Alistar combo with Samira passive being added on, so a really intelligent drafting decision with that one. And with Teemo being hovered, as most likely just a little bit of a troll, as Lee Sin is going to be the selected pick. And given the low range that POG has, they have extremely low range champions with everyone minus the Karma, and Django is going to have a free lane against this Karma if he manages to play well around those early queues. So I like what both teams have selected, other than maybe the Blitzcrank showing out so early where support counter pick is available. You never want to hook in an Alistar, and that's basically what you have right now.
Yeah, one of the interesting things here that we've seen play to quite a strong extent is Alistar Samira against Tristana, because if Tristana tries to place down her E, Samira just hits W, and all of a sudden that's negated. Tristana can usually buffer a rocket jump away from Alistar's pulverize combo, but with Samira there, it extends the CC duration and applies another one on top of it. So now Trist has to play significantly more safe. So it's a question as to how well this will go.
Yeah, it basically eliminates the ability to buffer out, and with so much threat that's been coming out from this POG bot lane, I'm not surprised that they threw the gauntlet down for more aggressive lane. But I'm ready to see game 2. Are you ready, Anti, to see game 2?
Yeah, ready as ever. We'll see how this one goes.
All right, I cannot wait to see what we're gonna have for this second matchup, as this is POG versus OOD, game 2.
All right, here we go. Is Bobrovsky Rek'Sai? Definitely going to be an interesting one to say the least.
Yeah, it's definitely very good into Lilia. If you get onto her at any point, she's a one-shot target throughout the entirety of the game. It's going to force an Hourglass Bay, as now Crit Addict is going to be in trouble a little bit. It looks like they're going to be not having seen him. I don't know if everyone has saw each other, but they are going to be going into the jungle and basing and faking as if they placed some wards in this top side.
Yeah, should be interesting. And one of the big things here is that we're getting the Exhausting Night Out from Photograph from OOD's bot lane yet again. And once again, Crow's going to be going with the heal, which honestly I would have expected to see another Exhausting Night Out on that end. I guess it's just going to be very consistent on taking heal there.
Exhaust in this matchup is absolutely necessary. An old combo that people do in solo queue is just have the Alistar flash pulverize and then Samira start E and go for a really aggressive level 1 trade with Ignite down. That could easily lead to a kill. So I like Photograph taking Exhaust in a matchup where he's not going to be looking to trade very much.
Mm-hmm. And one of the big things here is that we've got Bob Joan on support this time instead of top lane. Which is going to be relatively interesting. We're not seeing Antunes, and we are going to see whether or not the synergy is on point. Now, Photograph taking Halo Blades into Samira. Honestly, I'm not too sure how strong that's going to be, because once you get past level 3, Tristana hits E. Usually, Halo Blades means that she can proc more autos more effectively, but you're not really ever going to be able to use the E against Samira because of the way because she has wind wall on a basic ability.
Yeah, and this is a new look that we've seen from the side of OOD. I don't believe we've had Bob Jones substitute into the support role yet, so having him come down here, we'll see how well the laning is going to be between these two. Just like you said, with the synergy being in question, but an interesting decision. I guess they really wanted to have Bob Jones' shot calling somewhere, but didn't know exactly where to put it, so the support was the obvious choice. And I think this is something that he can still be able to effectively play, as he does play support frequently in solo queue. This is going to be all in already. The Poverall is down. The Flash has come out, and Bobrovsky is just going to be landing the E, and that's going to be a really well-timed gank and that's going to prevent Photograph from having any chance of this game.
Yeah, that's the classic Bobrovsky level 3 gank, and as someone who has played against it, it is incredibly tilting, and it's so strong. Like, Rek'Sai has so many options that she can use in order to get those early ganks off. And Bobrovsky is very, very confident on this champion.
Yeah, this is easily his best champion. He plays it. I think he is one of the top Rek'Sais in the country, at least in the North American server. So him getting his big champion is really big. As hopefully Bob Jones is going to be able to cancel up this big. Samira's going to be in trouble. She's exhausted down. She has heal and flash available, but the jump is going to come out. The wind wall is down. Blade Roll is not going to be enough. His Photograph is going to be able to pick up a kill. Now Crit Addict is going to be in trouble. Also, Django is getting everything down. The slows are there. This is going to be the Alistar. Ecto has found it. Django is going to be in trouble. The Ward Hop has gotten Django out for the meantime, but Bobrovsky is going to have the knock-up in just a moment as they are trying to count it out. Soximus is a level up. The slow from Tempest is there. This is them trying to walk it out. Bobrovsky is going to be landing, but that Q is already on him, and Soximus is just going to pick that up as Django's taking a bunch of damage, but is still alive. Crit Addict is going to be in trouble now as he is going to be walking out. Soximus is kind of trying to kite as much as possible, but that's going to be the flash onto Big Twig, who just didn't get anything out as he's just dropped, and now Soximus is going to get stunned up by this Alistar auto in just a moment. But now this is not over. Django is around the side. He has teleported in. He is coming in. He's going to find Gunsy, who is going to be in trouble. This is Django picking up Gunsy right there. Socksmith is still in trouble. The combo is going to be up soon. Now Crit Addict is there. The double buffs have been transferred over.
And Bob Jonas here?
Yeah, everyone's coming up to this bot lane party as Django's come in. The Q has landed. The auto is out. Django's taking some tower shots, and he's not going to make it, as that is a combo that's going to be coming. There's no mana on the side of this Alistar. There's nothing he can provide. Crit Addict is trying to get as much damage as possible from the side of Bob Jones, but he's not going to find anything further, as even now, if these two AD carriers are fighting, and that is going to be Crow getting the advantage. It just never ends.
Oh, boy. Yeah, and just like that. Yeah, just like that, we had fights literally for, what, a minute and a half on almost both sides of the map at that point, getting basically everyone involved.
Yeah, huge extended fight, especially for when you consider where those kills went to. That's 4 kills on that have gone over to this Karma. She's going to have a big target on her back, especially when this level 6 comes through for this Lilia, but for the moment, she's easily the most powerful person in the game right now, and they should try to avoid fighting around that top side for the foreseeable future, as Big Twig is struggling a little bit in this lane. He's just going to walk up, take an electrocute proc from the casting and W that does so much damage early on.
Yeah, you know, Bob Ross's going to pick up the early dragon. Unfortunately, it's an ocean dragon, which just, as far as solo dragons are concerned, ocean dragon is by far one of the weakest. It's effectively the same as if you were just running a health potion, which, you know, while isn't terrible, isn't the same kind of power that you'd see from a single earth dragon or infernal dragon. But, you know, it's definitely appreciated.
Yep, and this is once again the map flip situation that we saw last game, trying to punish Photograph and Bob Jones in this bot lane, as they are going to be looking for a bit of a trade, but they should know that Bobrovsky is behind them, and that tunnel is cleared. They have no vision on him at the moment, so they're going to be walking into the river, and with him still being on that Gromp camp, and this is a dangerous position for them, because now they're in the middle of the lane with a Rek'Sai behind them.
Yeah, and, you know, Bobrovsky, like I said, no stranger to the Rek'Sai and finding these, you know, unique gank paths. And there comes Bobrovsky.
If the knockup has come in and Photograph is in trouble, he's taken a bunch of damage already. There's no way he's going to be survived. The autos have come out on Bobrovsky, but that's not going to be enough. They were trying their best to get that wave in, but the bottom is going to pick him up on the side. So a trade skill chill has still come in. This Tristan is not going to be too upset about that, but this is a very punishing set of ganks in this bot side. But Bobrovsky's not finding that early advantage that he had found previously, where he just can chain gank without prodding anything over, as Big Twig's going to be forced to flash out, and there's a big wave under his tower, so he's going to be in a bit trouble.
Yeah, and Big Twig crucially has Ignite instead of TP here, which means he's just going to lose that entire wave, but Socksmith is coming around trying to make something happen.
Here. Gunsy has already used his dash in, and this is just going to be a dead cast, and there's no way he's going to survive. The Socksmith is just going to pick it up. Really well done on this boulder, getting a solo kill in that mid lane, and trying to bail Big Twig out a little bit for the lane that he's been struggling in.
Yeah. I see.
All right, so just a quick confirmation for everyone who was watching. Antunes was subbed out for internet connectivity issues. So something out of our control. It's very difficult to fix in an online environment. Sorry, not online environment. So there's really nothing that could have been done there. But it looks like they're still doing okay with Bob Jones being a viable substitute, already having a 6-man roster anyway. So it is not the end of the world for OOD, but they're definitely going to have a hit to their synergy.
Yeah, honestly, though, Photograph doing miles better in this game than they were in the last game. Where, you know, while Photograph before had gotten like a bit of an early lead on the Draven, Crow was just able to pick up kill after kill here. So we'll see if they're able to crawl things back. But, you know, Crow isn't sitting in lane with a passive, you know, 10 CS, 20 CS up, like we saw in the last game.
Yeah, the big disadvantage so far has been coming in this mid lane, where Gunsy has been getting good trade after good trade, forcing the Vladimir to back immediately after he comes back to lane. And yet again, Big Twig has not bought any potions. There's no further sustain on this Vladimir, so he's going to be in trouble for an extended period of time if the continuous good trades that are going to
Oh,
keep happening. But now Crow is in trouble. There's no way that they can pull him because of the win world that's still available. But that's a lot of damage that's coming out from Photograph, as now he's been taking a bunch of auto attacks. The flash
oh
is going to come in.
shoot!
Crow's going to find the outplay as the R is here and the healing is there, but the ultimate from Bob Jones is going to pick him up. Really well done on the side of Crow to find that outplay in a 2v1. But it looks like there's just way too much aggression from Photograph getting outplayed again, as the flash is going to come out and Big Twig live out the puddle, so Gunsy's going to just pick it up. As now this is going to be in trouble, as Soxmus does not have the R available, but he does have flash. Flash Q Smite will end it, as that is not going to be everything. And now the ultimate is there, the sleep is there. He's lining up the boulder. He's just going to land it. Really well done from side of Soxmus to yet again pick up a trade kill after Big Twigs is being punished for a laning error.
And like every single time that Gunsy gets an advantage in this mid lane, Soxmus is just right there to pick it right back up. And you know, good stuff on Gunsy for getting these leads by themselves. But like, the stronger this Lilia gets, the more scary it's going to be, because you know she's just going to flash into your team, sleep all 5 members, and then Sonya's. And what are you really going to do about it at that point?
Absolutely, and this is not a snowballing Rek'Sai, but this is Photograph in trouble yet again, as he is going to be dashed out. That's going to be the flash coming in. There's nothing that they can do. Both of these laners are going to go down, as Bobrovsky has found another kill over a ward. There was a ward in that bush that spotted him, but it was way too late after that flash combo had come in, and there was nothing Photograph could do to survive.
Yeah, you know, Gunsy gonna go in for another aggressive trade here. Like, Big Twig is not having fun. Like I said, picking the Vladimir into the Kassadin, not necessarily something that I anticipated here. They're looking for a dive on Soxmus, though.
Yeah, and this is a shutdown if they get it. This is a bunch of damage. There's nothing that they're going to do. Bobrovsky's just going to pick it up. He's sitting under the tower by himself, and Lilia is extremely squishy. But in this mid lane, as you were saying, Big Twig has been struggling. He hasn't found his avenue into the game yet. And at least at the moment, he hasn't really been picking up any sustain. As now, this is going to be a 2v3 dive. The teleports are coming through. Fat Ecto has opted to go in, but now he's by himself. His team has already backed out. Photograph is going to pick it up. The ultimate is not available, as now everybody's running, as Photograph has jumped over the wall with the blast cone. And there's not really anything further that can occur, as there's no CC that is easily landable.
And there's a little bit of miscommunication there. Crit Addict decides to commit the teleport down. Meanwhile, Fat Ecto decides, hey, you know, we're already not going to win this, so I'm just going to go and sacrifice my life for this. They're going to have to go for me. But at that point, you know, Crit Addict's burning teleport just ends up not amounting to anything. Meanwhile, they're just going to Team OOD is just going to take the dragon there, and they're sitting pretty comfortably there. You know, nice shutdown for Photograph, and you know, they should be in a pretty good position now.
Yeah, even with all these ganks and the punishers that they've been able to find, having Tristana be able to pick up these trade kills and still be equal in CS, she does still outscale. So if she's basing right now and picking up that Kraken, she is easily stronger than Samira, who needs a bigger advantage than what's been accrued. And it looks like that is not going to be the case, as he just picked up a crit cloak, but he is very close to it. And this lane can tilt very easily with jungle attention if Lilia manages to find an angle where Bobrovsky is not there.
Yeah, and one of the big things here about the Samira-Tristana matchup is that, you know, Samira with Alistar, very strong into Tristana, because, you know, if Tristana does try to turn around, Samira can wall.
Oh, here we go. Big Twig is in trouble, and the knockup is not going to land, as that's a bunch of damage coming out on Bobrovsky, who's going to be ignited and walk out. If that ultimate had come through and that E lands, there could be an easy chance for that Rek'Sai to have been dropping. So Big Twig is managing to survive, as now that's going to be Crow dashing in. He's by himself, though, and he's exhausted. The combo has not come in, but the R is there, and the knockup has canceled the jumper. That's going to be a double kill from the side of Crow, as Ecto has found another good engage, and the swap has come through, as Gunsy is now in the top lane, and he's going to be in trouble as the sleep is landing, but it looks like they're not going to have anything further, as Elisa and Q is not available for a kick flash combo. So well done, but this is still POG coming out with the advantage, who've already opened up almost 4,000 gold lead.
Yeah, you know, OOD tried to... Oh, is Big Twig going to go down here? Oh, just barely healing up there.
He is struggling to get this healing off, and he still hasn't really bought any more sustain, as the flash Q is going to come in for crit, and there's no pull, so that's another solo kill picked up on the side of Big Twig, who has not found an avenue. There's just no angle that he's been able to find, where he's just been constantly put under this pressure, and he's now losing to both solo laners, as Ecto is going to be in trouble, as he's going to get hooked under the tower. Otto's being traded on the side of Crow the Moonlit, but he's just going to win this at the moment, and he's walking very, very aggressively, knowing that there's nothing that can come out from this Blitzcrank, as Django is here, and Bobrovsky is found. He is going to be in trouble. The sleep can come out at any moment, but it looks like they're waiting for a multi-man sleep as Bobrovsky's going to drop. That's a shutdown. Crow is going to be in trouble, but a stopwatch has already been picked up. Are they going to be able to protect this Lily, who is going to get the flash out? Django is still here. A bunch of damage coming in. The flash from the side of Bob Jones is there now.
Oh, here comes
Crow
Samira.
is picking up everybody, and the resets are there, as that's already a triple kill picked up. Are they going to be able to find Soximus? He's going to get a really well played E over the wall onto this Krug camp. The Q is just going to land. This is not going to be anything. Oh, as the Q was just out of range, and Bob Jones is going to die, and Photograph's going to be dead, but Soximus is going to make it just by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, they were playing that fight so well, but Crow was sitting on the style meter for such a long time and just really wanted that Inferno trigger, but just barely not able to get it. But the moment that it triggers, everyone dies. Like, this Samira is 7-2 right now, just so much gold. And once again, Photograph getting the early lead, but Crow not caring and just bringing it right back anyway.
Yeah, they have not been able to find an answer for this map split situation that they keep allowing to happen. This is the second game in a row where POG has opted to go for this. It prevents any early aggression into this bot side, and in a neutralizing 2v2, POG's bot lane has just been showing that they're able to outplay and pressure, as now they're going to be going for a Rift Herald. And this is concerning because Lilia and Django are here already, and this is going to be Crit Addict who's going to be walking up late, but they don't know where he is. There's just not enough vision, and it looks like they're going to opt to just give up this Rift Herald. And that's going to be another golden fusion that could easily go over. As Crow is getting caught out, he's in trouble. He cannot give over a huge shutdown to the side of Big Two, who just picked up 1,000 gold. A really costly mistake for he was so far ahead to have given that kill over to a struggling Vladimir. That could easily just be a completed item when Big Twig goes back to base.
Yeah, you cannot be doing that. Like, sure, Crow, you've got a Bloodthirster and a Shield Bow right now, and you've got tons of gold, but you give 1,000 gold shutdown over to a Vladimir, that's a fully completed item, and then some. Like, this Vlad has been struggling, but it's not like Vladimir doesn't scale as a champion. Incredibly, difficult. It was incredibly difficult for Big Twig to play this game, but just like that, he's right back in the game, and all of a sudden, actually very threatening.
Yeah, that is easily the worst champion to have given over so much gold to, especially given the situation. Now Vladimir has threat. If he can threaten this Samira when she goes in for a bunch of burst damage, you're now in a position where you have two champions that really don't want to walk up to Vladimir, with this Rek'Sai not being super far ahead also, and not having a magic resist yet to be able to survive a full combo.
Yeah, and one of the big things here is that it's Cloud Soul, right? Like, even if you do have the advantage and you do end up getting the Cloud Soul, Cloud Soul isn't going to give you the same, hey, we just kind of win the game now factor that if it was Mountain Soul on a Samira, or Infernal Soul or Ocean Soul. Like, this is easily the worst soul for this team. Not necessarily because Cloud Soul is particularly bad, but it's just that it's the only soul that it could have been that doesn't instantly say, oh yeah, we just win the game now.
Yeah, the combat advantage that you get from a Cloud Soul is quite minuscule, as now you have Django who's gotten a wave push. They did secure that top tower, and this is going to be a decent map state to find some picks, as you have Django and Soximus working together. This is something they've done very, very effectively, as all these wards are going to be cleared out, and it's going to be very dark in POG's red side, so they're going to need to be concerned, as everybody's walking around on Gunsy, and he has not really opted to run yet, as the ultimate's going to come out, but he's still in a bit of trouble, as if this boulder lands, he is going to be in it as the smite has come through. The hook is going to be flashed away through. The kick has landed, and Gunsy is not going to be making it out, but this is going to be in trouble. Let's see how much can be traded over. The sneak has come through instantly, and now they're just waiting for it, and with the Q still on him, if the Q, that root from the side of Crit Addict was very, very smart, saving his life there, as a trade for the mid kill is there, but that's going to be the bot lane tower dropping, as now everyone is basing immediately to try to prevent anything further, but this could just easily just be two towers in the mid lane. POG finding a decent trade, even though they were on the back foot of the play.
Yeah, POG, they lose one, they almost lose two, but they take two towers in response, and League of Legends being an objective-based game, that's a great amount of gold over. And while Gunsey's been doing a lot of work and doing a lot of damage and bringing a lot of pressure, Gunsey does not have a shutdown on him in any capacity. Is 1-4 on this Kassadin here. And by Lord, one of the scariest 1-4 Kassadins you'll ever see. But honestly, not that much gold over to Team Udyr here.
Yeah, and 3 towers picked up in that transition. Really massive for the side of POG's gold lead that has been inflated despite losing those kills to up to 5,000. So they're in a really good spot. But the problem is just where that gold is located on. A lot of it's on the Samira, which is fine, but a lot of it's onto this Karma, who gets diminishing returns once she gets a massive amount of gold, just because of how cheap her items can be. That Kimtech Purifier coming in is good, but anything further after that, she's still going to be going into supportive items. So if Samira dies early, there's no one to support, and you're going to be still in trouble. So OOD's not in a terrible spot, but they definitely need to look to pick up some more of these towers, especially after they come up with these good team fights.
Yeah, like the Kimtech Putrefier and the Shirelias, generally very good items for Karma here. But what else is she gonna pick up with that gold? Like, Ardent Sensor. You have an 80 carry who doesn't really auto attack. A Rek'Sai who auto attacks maybe like 3 times a fight. I don't know, Redemption. Like the thing is, like, there's so much gold that's onto Crit here, which is very good at this stage in the game. And their team is generally very strong at this stage in the game. It's just the longer this game gets, the less and less this is going to mean.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. I just want to highlight the build decision for Bobrovsky, going for this more magic resist heavy option. He's picked up the Abyssal Mass. Personally, I would have said you probably should go Force of Nature on Rek'Sai if you want magic resist, just because of the move speed that is more generally useful. But a magic resist option coming out early is going to make it so he is going to be at least decently tanky, as now the kick has come in and the Django is going to be in trouble, but he's managed to get out. Now Soximus has look for it. He's in Hourglass on the back line. A bunch of damage has already landed. Crit Attic is almost dead. He's been ignited and the ultimate's going to pick him up. Now Samira's in there by herself. She hasn't been able to find everything, but the shield's going to keep her alive. Soximus has been found. The CC is there.
Crow
is one hit from death. But this is still a really close fight. As Photograph is on the back line, he's picked up 2, and this is everybody dropping from the side of Udyr, who's just going to pick an ace in a big fight.
Oh my god. They were 5k gold down.
Yeah, so 5k gold down, and if you look exactly how this happened, Django just found an angle that didn't look great, but Soximus really picked up the pieces with a big sleep that managed to pick up a lot of damage.
Yeah, so Gunsey goes in, he's like, okay, Django's gonna be in here, gets kicked in, has an ult out, Ecto gets pulled, everyone's already retreating, they're on the backside, Big Twig doing so much AoE damage, and, Crow decides to turn around solo, but you can't turn around solo into 5 people who all have their CC options up. And Photograph gonna be able to output so much damage because Crow's gone. Like, Crow is so much pressure on this team at the moment that he's not on the map anymore. It was just a free team fight.
Yeah, absolutely. What a disaster. And look at where those kills went to. The majority of them went to the Vladimir and the Tristana, so the worst carries to have been picking up gold. And that is already a Vladimir who has 2 needlessly large Raj in his inventory. That could easily be a death cap if they manage to pick up this Baron, and they are running to it. The only one alive is Crit Addict. There's 9 seconds on Bobrovsky, 11 on the Kassadin, who has teleport available, so they're going to opt to not go for it since they don't have any further sustain. But this is going to be the bases coming out, and Photograph staying on the map a little long, so he's going to be late to this Dragon. That's going to most likely be the next target of contestant.
Yeah, at this point, I think originally they decided, hey, what if we go for Baron? Realize it's going to take way too much time. And they're just denying some gold from the enemy team, just going to back and reset. That's a death cap completed on Vladimir. And
at 22 minutes.
Lord.
That is what happens when you feed shutdowns to the wrong carries. Is now they are looking for the engage onto Big Twig. The Smite has come in and he has a bunch of damage taken out. He is going to be in trouble, but a hook really well played.
Beautiful hook.
Bobrovsky's in trouble. Big Twig has dropped, and so has the thing. But Kassadin is on the back line picking up a huge amount of damage as Photograph has dropped. Crow is finding everybody. So this team fight is still going to be going into the advantage of Udyr. Let's see if anyone further is going to fall, as the root is going to land onto Django. He's waiting for that safeguard. He is going to get the heal from the Gore Drinker but that's not going to be enough as Gunsey is now found his avenue to take over a fight, as these battle of the mid laners have been massive, as the battle of the supports is happening in this bot lane, as Bob
Supportal
Jones is trying
combat,
his
baby!
best to survive. Is he going to be able to make it? It looks like Ecto's not going to have the damage, but the stun is going to come out. The Q is going to be there. The knockup is also going to be there. The ultimate is coming through also. So Bob Jones has dropped, and now they're just looking to end the game possibly, as this is just going to be the inhib. The respawns are too early, but as soon as OOD gets a little bit of an advantage, POG takes it right back.
Yeah, you know, things were looking so good for Udyr, and then Big Twig gets caught out in the mid lane. And while it took a while for them to kill Big Twig, the moment that Big Twig does go down, Big Twig doesn't have Zhonya's, doesn't have any way to really delay a fight. And Photograph gets there late and gets caught in response. And once both of their carries are down, it's just over. Django got a great Dragon's Rage and almost managed to get it back out. But like, you know.
Oh, and here's a teleport behind. They need to find this Cassidy. They see him. The jump in is there. A bunch of damage. Cassidy is just going to drop. And now this is a big fight coming in. And Photograph is not going to survive as the damage is still there. Crit Addict is taking a bunch of damage from Big Twig. And the fight on the back line is there. The Django has found Crit Addict. The shields are out. The ultimate is there. 2 kills picked up from the side of Samir, who's gotten a big ultimate. But a big kill from the side of Photograph, being able to pick up that Cassidy early. But it just wasn't enough of all that AoE damage that can come out.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, the Cassidy does do a lot of damage, and Photograph managed to take Cassidy off the map really quickly. But, you know, all of the gold that they need to get off of the map is on the Samira. The reason why they won that earlier fight is because Crow decided to go in 1v5 with Inferno Trigger and got CC'd and instantly blown up. And if you're not getting those if you're not getting Samira immediately off the map, you're not going to get those miracle team fights again. You know, the reason why you won 5k gold down is because you got rid of their 5k gold lead. If she's just going to be allowed a free hit and then use Inferno Trigger to kill everyone on your team, then yeah, you're going to get wiped, and it's just going to happen over and over again.
Oh no, this game is still on a knife's edge. Gunsey is just going to find Photograph. He's going to be in trouble, and that's going to be the dead Tristana on the back line, as I saw that getting ready to happen. Soximus has Flash available, but if they give up too many kills to there, this could easily just be the game over. Is he going to look for this Flash over and try to get the steal? The E is landing. He has vision, so he knows that this Baron is going, but they're trying to hold it. The Flash in, and that is going to be Samira picking it up. Neither jungler is going to get it, but Soximus is just going to drop in the reprisal, as Bobrovsky is going to die over the wall. Now they're being chased. Gunsey is going to land the slow, but there should be nothing further as Samir is too far away to be of any usefulness. And now the back is going to be stopped by Django, and Gunsey is going to be looking for another angle as he's kind of just waiting out of vision, trying to protect his teammates' recalls. As now he's going for this this Wraith Camp, but he has very little mana, probably only has 1 ultimate charge left in him, but that's going to be it. And all she wrote for this next fight, as really well played on Gunsey, just finding the Tristana really early in the fight.
Yeah, you know, at this point it just feels like the Crow Show and Friends. Because, like, you know, Gunsey managing to one-shot Photograph through, like, with exhaust up, but mind you, which was incredibly strong here. But, you know, Crow going to be able to secure the Baron at the end with, you know, so much damage on this Samira. Now with an Infinity Edge on top of everything that we've seen. And this Samira is going to be so hard to kill while outputting so much damage. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, OD really needs to realize how important it's going to be to kill this Samir, how important it's going to be for Big Twig to get a multi-man ultimate. He has the tools. He has all the items he needs in his inventory already to be a massive teamfight threat. As soon as he goes back to base and picks up those enchanted boots, probably gets the lucidity for some cooldown reduction, especially since the magic resist is already in. He is a massive threat, and they need to find Crow early and prevent this healing sustain that can come through with her getting the Inferno Trigger against multiple people.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I don't know how much of an avenue they have back into this without just somehow stalling out the game, but they don't really have any strong wave clear options either. I feel like POG can just run in and force a fight, and then it'll just be over. Like, Gunsey's just gonna threaten push in the mid lane here, while they're just taking the top lane for free.
Yeah, and the picks are there. That's going to be the Shirelli's Reverie pop. Big Twig is looking for an angle. He's going to take a bunch of damage. He CC'd. He's not going to get the button. He's just going to be able to get it off. The R is there. A bunch of damage coming through as Gunsy's really low. He's going to be dropping. This is a big fight. Crow's under the tower, but that tower is going to die. So there's nothing further that's going to be happening from there. Django is going to be on the back line, and he is in trouble. He's gotten the stopwatch, but there's just not enough, as this is a 3v4. The sleep is there. Is there going to be anything further? Crow has dashed in onto Soximus. The autos are coming through. The hourglass is there. The ultimate for Photograph is going to be picking up. This is everybody. Photograph is finding a massive fight. That is going to be a jump in on the next one. Are they going to be able to pick up crit? And that is a really well played. These 80 carriers are playing out of their minds and has managed to carry another fight that looked completely lost.
Yeah, Photograph getting a crucial pick onto Crow right at the end of that fight there means that they can't just instantly end the game, and that's what we call a game-saving play, but not necessarily a game-winning play. You know, OOD are still in a very difficult position here, still 5k gold down. You know, luckily not losing either their inhibs. And Critic just going to shove in a wave in bot lane here. But, you know, OOD, they're in a rough position. They're still scaling up. It could be worse. There are 2 open inhibs, but neither has gone down.
And there's just been a massive amount of healing been picked up, and this is going to be quite concerning for this next dragon if they opt to fight it. This is a GA on the Samira. This is about as strong as she gets. Her last item isn't really a big multiplicative bonus for the way Samira scalings works. So this Tristana is only going to be catching up. So this is still a concern for POG. They're going to need to wrap this game up as soon as possible, because if Tristana gets any bigger, she can easily get a bunch of crits onto this on Gunsy from massive range and prevent these team fights from being as easy as they have been. So don't count OOD out yet, because they have the tools. This is a bunch of damage that can come out. And if Big Tweak finds an angle, that's all that they're going to need.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I think that you shouldn't be fighting for the soul. It's Cloud Soul. It is what it is. You're 5k gold down. You're not going to win this. Also, let me talk about this. It's 29 and a half minutes in. Big Twig still has not finished tier 2 boots.
There we go. Soximus is going in, and that's going to be the sleep landing. So Gunsy's going to be forced to ulti out, but the Shirelli's Reverie is there. Bob Jones is caught out. That's a bunch of damage he's going to be taking. He is not going to be able to survive. Now they just need to prevent any more bleeding from occurring, as this is going to be a bot lane push, but the wave is very far back, so this is going to give some time for Bob Jones to respawn before our next fight is going to happen. So a picked up by the side of POG, but there's not going to be a massive advantage other than this bot lane tower that was probably going to go down anyway.
Yeah, you know, they're just gonna end up taking it, taking the tower, taking pretty much all the standing gold up on the map, and this gold lead is ballooning, and to the point where it's like almost, you know, 7k gold at this point.
Yeah, it's almost 7k. It's going to be really, really close still. Gunsy's going to be basing, so this is not going to be a big push threat, as these waves are going to be collected up. This is a lot of gold that's going to be funneled into OOD for the foreseeable future, so that is also going to be a concern. And this game needs to be wrapped up by POG early, as the scaling is still there for the side of OOD. They have the tools. Samira is going to have a much harder time getting onto the Tristana when Tristana can hit her from across the map. So this is only gonna get harder, and I'm gonna be very interested to see how POG is gonna look to close this out. They have been very good at closing out games previously, as that is gonna be the level 16 from the Caston, so that might be the avenue that they're gonna look for.
Yeah, the one thing that they have going for them is that Cassidy has his level 16 Casa win condition, and you know, he's chilling out in the bush. He knows it's not warded. But Photograph has Infinity Edge now. Photograph hasn't had Infinity Edge in any of the other...
Oh, no, this is a 2-level advantage, and Gunsy is there. A bunch of damage onto Big Twig. He's just going to be flashed on, and that's going to be the Vladimir out early. Now Soximus is going to die. He looked for the angle and couldn't find it. The Hourglass is there. A big fight. Photograph is on the back line, and he has not found anything, as the R is there. Soximus is just dropping. A big fight. Caston has already got a triple kill. Is this going to be the pentakill? Bob Jones is running away. He's the closest target, and Django is already out of there. But that could easily have been the game. The R's are coming through. That's a bunch of damage onto Bob Jones, who is going to drop. That's going to be the unofficial quadra. Django is in trouble. The ward hop is there, but the next R is going to be following up, as the unofficial pentakill has come through for Gunsy, as he's found everybody to close out the game. Once again, Big Twig was caught out, and this time it cost him everything.
Yeah, I know I did say level 16 cast a win condition, but that's not... I didn't expect it to be that big of a jump.
Yeah, all the AP is there. This is 25 stacks, and Big Twig is going to be the first one available. He's going to flash in. He's going to get a big R. Is this a game-saving play from him? As the healing is going to come through, but he's not going to find it. Photograph has jumped in, and that's going to be a big set of crits. Photograph is kiting it out. He's doing everything he can. That's not going to be enough, though. Crow is sustaining through. Soximus is alive. Django is in 9, and Antunes is... I'm sorry, Bob Jones is available, as the flash out is there, but that's only all she wrote, as POG is going to take game 2 in the series and take a commanding lead.
Oh my lord. So, you know, POG, they had a really strong early game comp. They executed on the early game. And their one fallback plan was light Cassidy hit level 16. And dear lord, did Gunsy do work with that Cassidy at the end.
Yeah, this is an example of what they did not want to happen for the basically the entire game. Gunsy just outlaned Big Twig and managed to have a bigger advantage into this matchup. The boots never came through for the side of Big Twig, but that wasn't really the problem, as you saw how much damage this mid and 80 carry combo put out. And that just is not going to be good enough when your Lilia is the top of your damage chart for your team. So OOD is going to need to make some changes. And honestly, I don't think there's anything further. We'll see if the broom is going to come out. This is going to be a sweep, or this is going to be a series made by OOD in the next matchup.
Yep.